when I had the opportunity to work as an assistant for RSD, you know the story. We have talked about it many times. I told my parents, listen, I quit my university, but I have this opportunity to work for free in the United States, unpaid. I have to pay my own flight, my own food, my everything, but I can crash on the couch, and I need $16,000 to afford that trip for 6 months. And they were like, what the fuck? you were always a smart kid. You were good at university. How come you quit all of a sudden? Where is this all coming from? And my dad pulled me aside. I remember he went into my room and he said, Max, I don't think this is a good idea. I think this is a really dumb idea. You probably haven't thought this through. But I also know, because I know you as my son, that everything you've done so far, you've pulled through. You wanted to learn guitar, you learned it. You wanted to start a band, you did it. You wanted to get all A's in your last year of high school, you fucking did it. So here's the money. And I flew close. So I borrowed money from my parents, from my best friend, Andre, back then, my first client, my brother, and my bank. I had $16,000 in debt. 2 weeks later, I was on that flight to Miami. Worked my fucking ass off. Started getting paid back all my debt. First paid my parents, then paid back to RSD. Went on a world tour, first world tour, second world tour, third world tour, made my fourth world tour, made my first million. Moved to Helsinki, met my girlfriend, moved to Kiev, built a business, had 2 offices, 20-something employees. I walk back from the gym randomly, listen to music, and I think about that moment where my dad said, I don't think it's a good idea, but I trust you as my son that you always do the right thing because you always pull through. And I start crying, waterfall crying tears, because I didn't realize all these years what my dad actually did. But what he actually did was saying, I trust in your capabilities as a 20-year-old kid. I trust in your capabilities more than I trust my own judgment as your father. That's how much I trust you as my son. And I realized that is the greatest gift a father can give a son. To say, you're 20 years younger than me, but I trust you. And I'll never forget that about my dad. It was the best thing ever. And he's now in Cyprus, actually profiting. He's profiting from me crushing it, you know. And I think that is something. Whatever I do as a father, and my mom always says, as a parent, you can only fail with dignity. I know I'll fuck up a lot of things, but as long as I don't fuck up that, as long as I can pass that on from my dad, showing my son or my daughter that I'll trust their judgment, I think then I'll win. I think that's the only thing I really want from my kids. I don't care if they want to become a broke artist or if they want to be a rich businessman or a freaking playboy entrepreneur, whatever it is. I want them to know that I trust in their capabilities.
Yeah. Nailed it. I was about to ask you, but you answered already how much impact your father had on your success, but you answered already.
He's a legend.